healthy food. Meat and Parkinson's disease. To begin with, we must understand that we cannot use human beings as laboratory mice, so we have two mechanisms. One is the mechanicist system. We use laboratory mice in it, and we construct the reactions that may occur. Another is to use populations that are affected by a study effect. It is hardly possible to isolate populations to obey orders systematically, in addition to being unethical. Let's cite a study. The title is, "High Doses of Riboflavin and the Elimination of Red Meat Dietary Promote the Recovery of Some Motor Functions in Patients with Parkinson's Disease." In this study determines that red meat removal and inclusion of vitamin B2 help reduce the effects of Parkinson's disease. What does that mean? This determines a strong indication that removing red meat favors the non-occurrence of neurodegenerative diseases. The research factor defines that the effect of fat and red meat can generate deleterious factors to the nervous system. Several studies have determined that red meat consumption generates toxins, and these favor deleterious actions. There is an extremely toxic red meat intake product that is the hemin, which generates free radicals that are overridden by gliadothin, and needs vitamin B2 to continue the cycle. City like Buenos Aires in Argentina with great meat consumption has the highest prevalence of Parkinson's disease, having the highest index of red meat consumption per capita. Estimates of the prevalence of the disease vary widely in the world, from 31 per 100,000 people in Libya to 657 per 100,000 in Buenos Aires, Argentina. In Brazil, the IBS detected the prevalence in the south of the country of the disease above other regions, where red meat consumption is higher. Research has determined that the Mediterranean diet, in which there is a high amount of vegetable oils, consumption of vegetables, and a low red meat diet, such a diet defines a low index of neurodegeneration problems. In summary, there is a big sign that red meat is not good at the deleterious products it produces, knowing that you can get protein in other foods. We also believe that processed meat has carcinogenic signaling type 1A and red meat 2A. In addition, that the use of the meat generates an immense livestock that destroys the ecosystem. Now a simple simplistic thinking. If we have strong evidence that red meat can favor degeneration of neurons, and we can use other foods that do not have these indications, why not use foods that have no qualifications, in relation to those they have?